I stepped out of the hotel room shower, once again amazed by the luxury of the presidential suite. I'm not one for self-indulgence, but my recent good fortune in the form of a huge annual bonus made up for the long hours I was working, meaning a weekend in the most expensive hotel room in town was necessary to rekindle my marriage. I walked towards the bathroom door, wrapping a towel around my waist, when there was a knock on the hotel room door. I opened the bathroom door a crack, knowing that my sexy wife loved to tease the room service staff. I wasn't disappointed as I watched Savannah loosen the waistband of her hotel robe before opening the door. However, to our mutual surprise, it was a cute little blonde who pushed the cart with our dinner into the room. "Come in," my wife muttered, stepping aside and slightly wrapping her robe. The young lady was removing the lids from the plates when she turned to my wife. "Oh, hello!" she exclaimed with delight. "Welcome back, Mrs. Wayne." Like Batman, she finished with a smile, clearly proud to greet the VIP guest by name. My wife's eyes widened slightly at the recognition as she quickly glanced towards the bathroom where I remained out of her sight. Remembering that my wife's boss always introduced himself as Bruce Wayne, like Batman, when I met him probably 1,000 times over the past few years, I suddenly felt a pit in my stomach. I finished toweling off and put on my hotel robe as my wife got rid of our little waitress. I hoped she rewarded her with a large enough tip for her invaluable service. "Hi, honey," I shouted, leaving the bathroom. "Can you go get some ice? I have a bottle of champagne that we need to chill." The lustful grin I gave her when our eyes met let her know where I intended to pour the champagne once it cooled. I handed her the ice bucket. Savannah smiled and stretched like a cat, her body as gorgeous as the day we got married. When she stood up and walked barefoot to the door, I shouted, "Take off your robe." She was a closet exhibitionist, and assuming that Savannah would rise to the challenge, I was not surprised when she threw off her robe, stuck her tongue out at me, and quickly rushed through the room door. The knocking, pleading, and crying began after about a minute, and seemed to continue for a while as I quietly gathered all my clothes. And almost 10 minutes passed before I heard the door open, before the visitor was stopped by the security chain. "I'm not ready for room service yet, thank you." I started to close the door when someone was struggling to open it. "This is the hotel manager," came a desperate voice through the remaining gap. "How can I help you?" I asked kindly through the slightly open door. "Could you please allow your wife to return to your room, sir?" he asked unctuously. Apparently, he didn't like getting into trouble with the people who had booked the presidential suite. "My wife? I can assure you that there is no one with whom I would rather share my life here in this hotel," was my honest answer. A loud cry of pain seemed to come from the hallway at my comment as the manager turned to talk to Savannah. She seemed to have managed to get a towel somewhere, and dried tears adorned her beautiful face. "Are you saying that this is not your wife?" The manager tried again. "We have a staff member who says she saw this woman in your room just 15 minutes ago." I saw a cute little blonde waitress standing nervously behind the manager, desperately trying not to get caught up in this mess. I turned directly to the waitress. "If you recognize this woman, what is her name?" While the waitress answered in a timid voice, "Mrs. Wayne?" A loud N-E-E-T came out of Savannah's mouth. I looked at my sobbing, soon-to-be ex-wife. "I'm definitely not Wayne. My last name is Lyons. Maybe this is a woman of easy virtue who got lost. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a busy day ahead." And with that, I closed the door on my wife and marriage. Please like and subscribe to the channel and you will never be cheated on.